Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to Pharaoh Iron and Customs. This is going to be February Daily 21. Today we're going to get this front end put back together where I can move the car and kind of get an idea about how much it's going to drop without the weight of the engine. You figure the weight of the engine is 700 pounds and probably another 150 for the weight of the front end, 200 by the time you add the hood. So we got right at 1,000 pounds off the front of this car, so I don't know that there's any way that I can simulate that without putting the engine back in it, and I'm not ready to do that as of yet. So I've already assembled one drop upright, and I'm going to take this video and show y'all how I did this. And I didn't want to put the brakes on this car, but when I got these uprights put together, I became concerned that the rotor kit I have, the brackets may have interference with the upper control arm. So we're going to go ahead and put the rotors on this thing, cycle the suspension, and see what's going on with it. So I'm going to lay this one down, get the camera readjusted to where it's pointing more towards, so you can see what I'm doing, and start putting this other side together. Alright guys, I hope y'all can see that pretty good. The first thing I did was I clearanced the inside of the steering arm and where it rides on the upright. Did a little bit of grinding there. They say it could be a little bit of interference. So I'm gonna start assembling this, and if I have to stop and do some more clearancing, I'll just stop recording. But the first thing I did, I cleaned the arm up over on the wire wheel. I could probably clean it a little more. Matter of fact, I probably will before I put it together. But to clean the inside, all I did was I took a piece, I didn't have a thick enough piece of regular steel welding rod, and that's just a piece of stainless welding rod, and I folded it over and put a piece of half a piece of 5.5 inch, I think that's 80 grit, maybe 40, and just running it through there like you would a hone. I mean, if you got a hone that fits, by all means, you know, use a hone. And I'm putting pressure up towards taking and working it around in a circular motion to kind of help add extra pressure in different places. Now remember, this was the right side. I was able to get that side out without heat, so I'm hoping that it's not going to take a whole lot to put it back together. And that pin is still a little tight. Matter of fact, the pin on the other side, I got to the point where it slides fairly easy. And you're not taking any metal out by doing this. All you're doing is getting the grime that's been in that hole for 70 years out of it. Like I said, put a little pressure in all directions. And I lost my little tool. And obviously, if you had something like if you had a small brake cylinder hone, this would work. And this also works if you need a hone brake cylinder and don't have a brake tool. This same setup, you can hone wheel cylinders with it. Excuse me. And like I said, all you're trying to do is get the rust and grime out of there so the pin will slip back through. It's supposed to be probably, you know, you don't want it to be floppy in there by any means, but you want it to, it's probably a zero clearance fit, and there's still some crap in this hole. I'm getting a little bit of junk out of it still. All right, I'll be back in just a second. Let me work on cleaning this up some more. All right, guys, I'm back. I got this pin where it fits pretty easy. I didn't have any acetone, so just used a little paint thinner to clean the crud out of the hole, and the pin fits really good. Now what we want to do is on the upright on these Fords, your grease zerks go forward. So this is the right side upright, and since it's the drop upright, the short end goes towards the top. Like I said, you have the pin that holds the whole assembly together. You have a big end and a small end, and I'm going to have to go to the vise to put it in. I had to with the other one. This is the big side right here. So the pin goes in this way into the spindle. You have your bearing, and like I said, the entire weight of the car sits on this bearing right here, and the pack that came with it only had 4 shims. So hopefully, I think we could have got another shim in there, but I put 2 shims in the other one. So that's pretty tight. Alright, so the pin will come in. It can't come in from the top because the top eye is in the way. The pin, like I said, you've got a notch right here in the pin. It needs to be facing forward so it'll line up with this hole, and then you just got to line the whole assembly up. And actually that fell right into place. So let's see. We'll tap just a little bit. And I have something trying to get in the shop with me. I'm assuming it's one of my dogs. So this is, to me, was the hard part, was getting this pin lined up with the slot in the shaft. And I'm not going to be able to finish driving it in here. It should be lined up. It looks like it's lined up. Maybe. So I'm gonna shoot. Yep, it's lined up. I'm gonna go finish driving this pin in, and I'm gonna come back. Okay, so I got the pin driven in, and the next part is you have these 1-inch freeze plugs. They're the seals that go on the top and the bottom of the kingpin, and I'm going to use my little ball peen hammer to seat that on top of the bushing. And I'm going to take my little mini sledge here and just, all I did was created an indentation in the top of the freeze plug, and that should lock it into place where it won't come out. And we'll do the other side. Just knock it down. And you know, no harder than I'm hitting this ball peen, you know, I know people say not to strike hammer heads together, but no part harder than I'm hitting this, you're not going to hurt anything. All right, and that's the other side done, and that's how you assemble a upright in a shoebox Ford. Like I said, this goes down, and I was saying yesterday to make sure that this fit, but on the redesign, when they moved up the upright, moved this up the upright, it gives you plenty of room to get the steer arm in and out. Something I noticed on the brakes, and I'll probably go over that when I do the brakes, is you're going to have to grind away that area so that the brakes will fit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to get over here and get this thing installed. Alright guys, I got the right side put together. A couple things. Just make sure you got a ring that goes at the top of the spring to help cushion it against the body. And the other thing is you have the upper trunnion and the lower trunnion. I don't think you can switch the holes. They're two different sizes. The upper one is shaped like an eccentric, and that's how you're supposed to be able to adjust the camber on the car. I'm going to get into setting up and putting the oil seals in it in a different video, because the frame on this side is messed up, and the way I found to put the seals in may not be the correct way. So I want to check into it and make sure I'm going to tell you guys the right way to do it. How I did it works. I just want to make sure I give you the right information. So I'm going to get this side together, get the tires aired up, get it back on the ground, and then we'll do an outro. Okay guys, she's back on 4 tires, and it's almost level with no engine in it, which is concerning. I need to get the engine and stuff mocked up in it, see how much lower it's going to go. Of course, we do have a 24-inch tire on it right now, and probably going to go to a 26 or 27-inch tire on the front, depending on how much fender clearance I have. And that's the other thing. I probably need to put the front end, mock the front end back up to see how much tire well clearance we're going to have. But I like that height right there. When I put those springs in, the Aerostar coils were already collapsing whenever you were it's got to give more than, I bet there's a 3-inch drop in a set of Aerostar coils. So anyway, that's going to be it for today. I'm going to do a video on installing the brakes and checking to make sure everything with the brakes work like it's supposed to. Probably maybe next week, but tomorrow I'm going to get out here and do some cleaning. I got to get some tools put up, get some things straightened up, get some of these parts moved around, and some of this stuff that I'm not going to use moved out of here, so I can get concerned on working on getting these floor pans repaired. But anyway, thank y'all for watching.